Okay, excellent. Morning, folks. Welcome to the briefing on Easter Friday, the 2nd of April. Back flying for a few days now, so things have gone really, really well. And hopefully what we're looking forward to next is the recommencement of two-seater flying and training. So, briefing today, what have we got? We have weather, local airspace and NOTAMs, and then how we're going to operate for the day. Chart for today, you can see this is the midday predicted. We're in this northerly round to northeasterly flow. The warm air that was coming up over the course of Tuesday, Wednesday has disappeared to be replaced by this much, much colder air, and it's probably 10 degrees cooler at this time in the morning than it was 2 days ago. Isobars aren't too far apart, so it's going to be breezy. It's the best description I think of today. Northeasterly on the ground and at flying heights, probably 15 to 20 knots over us for most of the day, and nothing looks like it's going to change, and not a lot really is going to change for tomorrow as well. So 040, 050 at flying heights, 15 knots, maybe 20 occasionally during the day. And on the ground, we're a sort of mixture of Farnborough and Gatwick Airport TAFs. They're both saying 050, 040, 10 to 12 knots. Yeah, I think that's probably about right, actually. So it's got that northeasterly component, a little bit blustery behind the trees, as it was yesterday, a little bit bouncy, but nothing too much to worry about. Today, if you've looked out the window, you can see this sort of upper cloud. It's like this sheet of cloud here coming down off the North Sea and across us. Not very thick, and as I think the temperatures go up during the day, it will break, and it'll sort of break up and start to look like cumulus for a bit and then thin out, and hopefully in the afternoon we won't see much cloud at all. It's trapped under a fairly strong inversion, and that's why it's sat there at the moment. So that's keeping a lid really on the temperatures, but I think even looking at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's only going to get up to sort of 12 or 13 degrees on the ground. But when you're stood on the ground, the wind chill is certainly going to take it down a few degrees, so it's going to feel quite chilly. Nothing like the last 2 or 3 days. I've had a look at the soundings just to see what I think's going on, and that's quite clear that this is this strong inversion. And if you run through to 1 o'clock, you can see it starts to go up and reduces a little bit, but not much, and then goes up a little bit further. By probably 3 o'clock, hopefully thermal's going to around 3,000 feet. Depending on the spacing here, will depend on whether it's blue or very small amounts of cumulus. That's the optimistic forecast. Top Meteo's going along those lines as well, but they are showing, this is 11 o'clock, they're showing it have cleared here, this upper low cloud that we can see broken up and disappeared and just turned into cumulus, and then not a lot of cloud at all throughout the afternoon. That's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then 3 o'clock. And they're predicting thermal heights, and I can't imagine it's going to get going much before midday, to be honest. About 1,000 meters, so 3,000 feet at best. They're saying 1,000 meters, 1,100 meters in here around our area here. So certainly a good chance of soaring, I think, later on, but I wouldn't expect it to be usable before midday. It is a good air mass. You know, it's unstable in the low levels. So where you do get sun on the ground and thermals, they should be quite strong today. Right. That should cover the weather. Airspace wise, not really a lot going on lots of big circles on the map, but when you dig into them, this is just Southampton's hours of operation. So today it's operating from 11:30 to 18:15 local time. And then Saturday and Sunday, it's deactivated. So as I said yesterday at the briefing, if anybody gets the opportunity to go soaring down that way, make the most of it, because there's no airspace, nobody on the radio. Salisbury Plain, the danger areas, the activity service has just been suspended, but the danger areas are still actually active. So there's no crossing service available. Normally they would, over an Easter bank holiday, bring the airspace down to 3,000 feet so people could cross it, but obviously they've got something going on. And apart from that, very little other airspace. I'm expecting a fair amount of GA traffic around, because people are taking the opportunity to go flying, having not been flying for 3 or 4 months. Operationally, we're going to be on 09. We do have a jet movement at 11:30 in theory. So we're going to operate on the main runway. If you come out, bring your glider out to fly, don't dump it on the runway. Just come out, get yourself ready, give us a call on the radio if I'm not there, and I'll come out and launch you, because we want to basically clear the runway fairly quickly when the jet movement takes place. If that's gone, then in the afternoon, you can just bring your glider out and we'll operate as we normally would. Reason for being on the runway, it's likely to be less turbulent behind the trees, and taking off from there a little bit easier than the grass north side. Okay, well, hopefully, if you want to fly today, we'll see you out there sometime this morning.